Hi there. I'm recording this video in response to something that's happened recently, and this is in regards to the subject of bullying or anti-bullying campaigns that are going on in the world. I know recently there has been some talk about passing anti-bullying laws, and prior to that there's been campaigns where pink t-shirts have taken over. Now, I know this is old news for a lot of folks, and I do understand this, so I'm not really trying to spread any gospels here. Heaven knows a lot of you who are watching this will probably know about this anyway. The point I'm trying to make here is recently somebody that I'm acquainted with has decided that they don't like my stand on the whole business of anti-bullying. But I will tell you why here in a moment. Consequently, as a result, they have gone and blocked me from Facebook. Big whoop. And it's kind of actually asked me, or kind of actually gotten me to think about a few things. First of all, let me tell you what I have said about this. When this original point came up on Facebook, I responded in a not so good way about the anti-bullying law or the pink t-shirts. I also put it out there that since my opinion is just as valid as anyone else's, which it is, then it should be left standing and not instantly removed when I put it up. The world is not going to always be rosy out there. Most of us know this. Most of us don't even have to be told this. We've found out either one way or another, sometimes the hard way. But the person that's blocked me obviously felt that their well-being and their future views were being attacked personally, which it wasn't. Which it wasn't being attacked. And so they decided to do the ultimate thing and block me from their Facebook page, which is rather stupid because even if it is their decision, there cannot be any respect in hiding from the truth, hiding from reality, and that's what this is. Now, back to the thing about the anti-bullying stuff. In case anybody wonders what it is I said about this, I will get right to the point. I said that these pink shirts are all well and good, but while you're at them, just print the word pussy upon them to easily identify who the victims are. I don't know about you, but in my humble opinion, if I were a victim of bullying, which I have been, by the way, long ago in the past, then the last thing I want to be going around doing is crying victim all the time, or wearing a shirt that says it. Maybe not so much in words, but, you know, in any kind of colors or anything like that. No, I'd want to fight back. That's what I would want to do. You know, I mean, victims only stay victims when they have the attitude and outset that they're going to be victimized. When you start getting an attitude that you are worth standing up for, that you are worth defending, that you are worth fighting for, you stop becoming a victim. Now, some of you out there probably know much better than I know, about what the opposite or antithesis of a victim is. Conqueror, winner, fighter, defender. Choose your adjective. There are plenty out there, I'm sure, more than I'm saying. All these anti-bullying laws are doing is just filling up the law books. I mean, how many people have you heard of that have actually gone to jail or have had to pay hefty fines because of these anti-bullying laws? These laws, these pink t-shirts, they're not going to stop a bully from picking on a person. In school, it still happens. I mean, yes, we've heard about it more in the news, We've heard about the bully-related suicides that some kids and some people have done, which is very sad, unfortunately. But really, what is it getting anybody? Where is it going? You know, those laws are not going to stop the bully. It's like it's like issuing a restraining order to abusing husbands or wives. Okay, that's just a piece of paper to them. They don't care about that paper. They don't care about that law. They are going to come back and hurt you again and again and again until either you stand up and fight or you get killed or put in the hospital. Those laws are not going to change anything. That pink t-shirt isn't going to change anything. And do you know why pink is chosen? Do you know why pink is the chosen color for those shirts? Little side lesson here, if I may. There was a study done some time ago in one of the correctional institutions, either here in Canada or in the United States. I'm not sure exactly which. I'd have to do some research. But it was found that painting a room pink had a subdual or a weakening effect on violent aggressors. Interesting, huh? The very color itself, pink, is a subdual color. It's a weakening color. Studies found that after a certain amount of time in a pink room, that the violent offenders were less stronger, less capable of resistance when they were restrained, and not as, shall we say, aggressively vocal. Interesting, huh? Now, there are a lot of other uses for the color pink, and I'm sure there are probably more than you can find that you could probably look up yourselves, so I won't bore you with details. But the bottom line is this. The color pink, I think, was definitely chosen for this very reason, because I suppose somebody figured out, well, you know, if pink can do this to an aggressive defender, why not use this to stop a bully? My argument with this is this. The only way you're going to stop a bully by wearing a pink t-shirt is, one, to either cover it over his eyes, which is probably a waste of a t-shirt, but I digress. Two, trip him with it. Or three, isolate him and surround him with so many people wearing pink t-shirts that he becomes as helpless as a newborn baby. Now, if you can visualize this, you know how ludicrous this is. This is ridiculous. Besides, how many people are you going to find in a crowd at any given moment that would have pink t-shirts on or any kind of pink shirts on? Virtually almost none. Now, if you're lucky enough to be in some place where they're having some kind of demonstration or an event and you've got lots of pink t-shirts on, well, hey, that's great. Bully for you, pardon the expression. But most of us don't have such luck. So, my concern is this. For years now, the only sure way to have stopped a bully, and there are those who won't agree with this, is to stand up to the bully directly. Let them know they are going to get hurt if they continue this course of action with you. Bullies count on zero resistance or little resistance. They don't want to get hurt. They just want to take their aggressive feelings out on a person that they've chosen as a victim, a target. But if the target starts fighting back, i.e., the bully comes up to push them around, and suddenly the bully is dealing with a bloody nose or a black eye because the victim hit them. Well, then they suddenly decide, well, this target's not worth the while. I'm going to go find somebody else to pick on. As it should be. If every time a bully did that, a so-called victim hit them back, well, I guess they'd be out of business, wouldn't they? They'd have to take up some other line of amusement. Another thing I don't agree with is the fact that authority figures, police, and not just police, but school superintendents and principals and teachers and all this stuff, don't condone defending yourself. I mean, what are they trying to do? Create a nation of sheep here? That might be a little bit obvious saying that, but really, we are trying to be given a state of helplessness, learned helplessness. When somebody comes along that's more aggressive than we are, that's more violent than we are, we're supposed to stand there and take it? I don't think so. No. When you're bullied, you fight back. Any way you can, any way you have to assert your right to love, to liberty, and to making yourself happy. Now, I'm not being patriotic here, because, first of all, I am Canadian, not American. But secondly, because these are basic, inalienable human rights that people around the planet have a right to enjoy. I mean, this is granted each and every human being on the planet from the moment you are born till the moment you pass from this earth. You have a right to be loved and to love. You have a right to liberty, which is freedom. Freedom in action, freedom in thought, freedom in word, and the pursuit of your happiness by whatever means suits you best. Now granted, that is provided that you are not impeding or causing harm to other people. This is a natural law. But there are those out there like bullies who, for some odd reason, do not want you to be happy. They do not want to see you happy, because happy people can't be controlled. Pickup artists know this. Other people know this. You should know this too. Happy people are not easily controlled. Why? Because they're happy. They have little need to be directed. They're going along just fine as they are. They don't need direction from other people. They don't need anything but their own self-direction. And that's what they have. And they generally enjoy themselves very much. Now, other people come along and say, well, you're not going in the direction we think you should be going. Here's what you should do. Now, one group of people that does this is bullies. Bullies see somebody who's happy. They're not happy themselves, so they get jealous, or they get intimidated by this. And they decide to bring that person down to their level of non-accomplishment, of failure. So if you ever want to see who the bullies are, or if you ever want to see an example of how you could be, just find a bully. Just look at how a bully operates, how a bully thinks. I promise you, you're not going to like it very much. Now, I myself have been in the position of being bullied. But when I was younger, I was also in a position of being a bully. And I didn't care for that very much. It hurt to see the look on the other person's face when they were being pushed around. I've gotten a slightly more tougher skin since then, but I still didn't forget that lesson. If you want to be anything but a bully, eventually you're going to run into somebody who's not going to hesitate to give you back a bloody nose or a black eye, or worse. So, you don't do those kind of things if you wish to have a happy life. And I chose to have a happy life, in as best as I humanly could do it. Again, anti-bullying laws and pink t-shirts are fine in their own way. They may raise public awareness. But I advocate the best method to stop a bully is to stand up to a bully. I will not back down on that. That is a solid principle that is effective, that works, and that, given enough time and practice, will actually put an end to the bullying. I know, again, there's not going to be people out there who will condone this. That is their decision. But I do ask that you respect my decision on that to those who feel that way. I am not about to change my mind, any more than you would change yours. So either you can live with that aspect and move on and be happy yourselves, or you can try and fight it and make yourself miserable by beating your head against a brick wall. I will not be moved. Anyway, for those who've watched this, thank you again for watching. And as I always say, I'll see you around on the tube. Ciao.